Alright, first and foremost, I want to say Kalalal, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakarakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Stone. And salutations to all brothers that's pushing this work in all sincerity and in truth. I'm the brother Yahya from the James Kingston Jamaica camp. Here with another quick lesson. And this one is just to show that the scriptures contains proof that the Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians are the true biblical Israelites, right? Now, when you read the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, it contains the blessing and curses that would come upon Israel if they followed after the law or if they disobey the law, statutes, and commandments of their Heavenly Father. Right? Now, when you read the book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 45, it says, Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee. Right? Now, when you examine the curses, the curses that came upon the nation of Israel were due to their sins, right? As it tells you in the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 11. Say, yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. And you know that according to the book of 1 John chapter 7, 1 John chapter 4, verse, I think is around verse 8, right? It tells you that sin is the transgression of the law, right? Let me get that. I don't like misquoting precepts. 1 John 4. Okay, so the chapter is 1 John 3 and 4. Say, whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. Right? So sin is the transgression of the law. So we transgressed against the Heavenly Father's sin. Our forefathers transgressed against the Heavenly Father law. Therefore the sin came upon us, man. The curses came upon us. Right? So therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. And he had confirmed his words, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven had not been done as had been done upon Jerusalem. Right? So no other nation basically went through the curses that nation of Israel went through, which is a sign of the proof. Right? As we go back to the book of Deuteronomy 28 verse 45, it says, Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Right? A sign and a wonder. Let's look up those two words. Wonder. So the word wonder goes back to the Hebrew word mawapath, which means a sign, token. Right? Now let's look up the word sign. So the word sign goes back to the Hebrew awath, zin, token, and sign, standard, miracle, proof. Right? Proof. So the curse is supposed to be a sign and a wonder, a token and a proof that we are the children of Israel. Why would this be needed? Because when you read down to the book of when you read down to the 64th verse, it say, And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So we basically will be scattered. We were scattered through the four corners of the earth. You see? And through when we were scattered through the four corners of the earth, we were scattered through a process of slavery, of other nations conquering us, and through that process, basically, we lost our heritage. Understand? Therefore, we don't know who we are. The children of Israel don't know who they are. So that's why these scriptures, which are the curses, would be a sign and a wonder, a token for us to basically, when the Heavenly Father opened the seals, right? This would be a sign to store up our pure minds by way of remembrance, that we would remember that we are the children of Israel, and because of these things that happened to us, we could mark where the children of Israel is, man. You understand? So let's go from there to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. It says, And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. Right? So we have kindled a fire in the Heavenly Father's hunger. Right? So that is what causes us to discontinue from our heritage. Right? So we don't remember. The children of Israel not going to remember who they are. So therefore, these are some of the things that we're supposed to take note of, that we are the children of Israel, that these are the signs that would represent us, that will actually bring us back to the knowledge that we are the true biblical Israelites. You understand? So some of the curses that directly correlates to us being the children of Israel are, number one, through slavery. You understand? Through slavery and the state that we are in at this present time. But slavery is one of the main events that took place that marks who the children of Israel is. Right? Now when you look into verse 68, it says, And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Right? Into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Right? So we went into slavery by ships. Right? There is no other event on earth whereby a mass number of people, millions of people, went into captivity via ships. Right? And the researchers, the historians basically make note of these things. See? So this is an article from UNESCO.org, transatlantic slave trade. See? Now the highlighted portions, it says the transatlantic slave trade is often regarded as the first system of globalization. Right? According to French historian Jean-Michel Devaux, the slave trade and consequently slavery, which lasted from the 16th to the 19th century, constituted one of the greatest tragedies in the history of humanity in terms of scale and duration. Right? So it is the greatest, right, tragedy in the history of humanity in terms of scale and duration. Why? Because this basically transported a mass number of people. Then as you can go down here, you see it would say it is estimated that between 25 to 30 million people, men, women, and children, were deported from their homes and sold as slaves in different slave trading systems. Right? In the transatlantic slave trade alone, the estimate of those deported is believed to be approximately 17 million. Understand? So the slave trade was a massive event that took place, and that event happened to our people. And as you can realize, it is basically made mention of Zine as a sign in the book of Deuteronomy 28, Zine verse 68. And a lot of these curses, a lot of these things that is mentioned in the book of Deuteronomy 28, it can be proven via history. You understand? Because when you relate history to what happened, right, you can see that these are some of the things that happened to us through slavery, and the impacts of slavery continued even after slavery, right? Because the scripture tells you, let me see. Bear with me. Zin, in the verse 37 say, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. You understand? So this is one of the things that happened to us. What are they calling us now? Now we are called Jamaicans, we are called Americans, we are called African Americans, Zine. We are called all other names which are a byword, Zine, than from what we truly are, which are the children of Israel. You understand? This is one of the consequences of slavery. That even after slavery, this would happen to us, man. You understand? So now let's get into this article here from the Britannica.com. It's a transatlantic slave trade segment of the global slave trade that transported between 10 million to 12 million enslaved Africans. Which this is just another byword that they call us, because we are not Africans, right? We are Israelites. You understand? Enslaved Africans. So it should be Israelites, enslaved Israelites across the Atlantic Ocean to the Americas from the 16th to the 19th century. It was the second of the three stages of the so-called triangular trade, in which arms, textiles, and wine were shipped from Europe to Africa, slaves from Africa to the Americas, and sugar and coffee from the Americas to Europe. Now, it just said that it was the second of the three stages of the so-called triangular trade, in which arms, textiles, and wine were shipped from Europe to Africa, slaves from Africa to Americas, and sugar and coffee from Americas to Europe. So basically, it was a process of trading, in which slaves were an integral part of that trade. Now, when you look into the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 2, it says, I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will play with them there for my people, and for my heritage Israel, Zin, whom they have scattered among the nations, and parted my land, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink, right? So they have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. What does that sound like? That sound like they are trading people, man. They are trading our people for things such as wine, man, zeal, and textiles, so forth, right? So it says, yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, which are twin cities in Africa, and all of the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. Right? So basically, what happened is that the Africans them, the true Africans them, the Hamites, basically formed a league with the Europeans them, which are the Edomites, the Arabs, and so forth, and basically came together and aligned against Israel and put them into captivity. That was what happened, man. You understand? So let's get into some other things. Zine, to show you that majority of these precepts relate to us. So the book of Deuteronomy 28 verse 48 said, Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. No. It says, he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck. Let's look up this. Yoke of iron. I'm not going to put in the verse or whatever. I'm just going to put in yoke of iron. See what's happened. You see that? Yoke of iron. It comes up as our people, man. Right? Images of our people being in captivity, being in slavery. You understand? Look here. These are all images of the Negroes, Latinos, and the Native Americans being in a state of slavery, being in captivity, man. So when the scripture says that these curses shall be a sign and wonder, Zine is showing you that, look here, these are some of the things that you could use to mark that we are the true biblical Israelites, right? That we are the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? This is the book of Deuteronomy 28 verse 49. And the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flight, and nations whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the people, the person of the old, nor shew favor to the young, because they shuttled us from the root, from the rooty to the tooty. You understand? They shackled us and put us in ships, man. And brought us over there to the Americas. You understand? So when you call yourself a Jamaican, when you call yourself a Trinidadian, a Barbadian, Asian, Dominican, those are all bywords that was placed upon us by our captives, right? We are the true biblical Israelites according to the scriptures, and these are some of the curses that fell upon us, man. And they are supposed to be for a sign, they are supposed to be for proof that we are the true biblical Israelites, man. See? And another point that I wanted to make, the scripture say, we have the memory, man, the memory. I have to pray for more better memory. See? So let me get it again. Say, thou shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. See? So it says, we are going to discontinue from our heritage. Now they beat it out of us. They beat our history out of us. They beat the knowledge of who we are out of us. You understand? Now this is an example from one of their movie, Roots, that shows you that they know what they did, right? And that the scriptures directly correlates to some of these things, the methods that they use to basically remove our history from us, man. See? Let's play a piece of this clip here.
I want to hear you say your name. Your name is Toby.
So they renamed us. That is one of the process, man. Zine, they renamed us. Just like how when you get a dog, you name a dog. Zine, they renamed us, basically showing a sign of ownership, right? That we are chattel. Zine, when chattel slavery basically shows that you're movable property. Zine, you're property owned by another entity. Zine, and in this case, it is the so-called white man. Zine is the main perpetrator behind the transatlantic slave trade, man. Right?
What's your name?
Kunta.
Lord God, help that boy.
Right? That is one of the process that they use to basically remove our history or our history from us, remove our heritage from us, man. Zine through slavery. Zine, and just let me finish off with this precept. So this is the book of Romans. Romans 13. Verse 11. It says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe it. Zine, it is now high time that we wake up out of sleep, man. Zine, the children of Israel need to rise up out of dead state, man. Me and the elect of the nation of Israel, right, need to rise up out of this dead state of slumber and remember who they are, man. Zine, the night is far spent. The time of darkness when knowledge is not in you no more is far spent. Zine, as it tells you in book of Isaiah. Let me get that. Isaiah chapter 60. Zine. Say for verse 2, it says, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people, but the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. Right? So the night is far spent, right? The night is far spent, right? The day is at hand. Seeing the light of the Heavenly Father, the knowledge of the Heavenly Father is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, cast off the dead state that we're living in, seeing, and let us put on the armor of light, which is the knowledge, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Heavenly Father, man. Let us put on the armor of light, yo. Zine, and with that, I hope that this lesson was edifying unto the nation of Israel. I want to say, call Alal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makar, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to all the brothers that's pushing this work in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom.